Welcome into College Golf Talk. Brentley Romine here, my co-host Steve Burkowski, currently out at the Southwestern Invitational, enjoying some of those Santa Ana winds in Westlake Village, California. He'll blow back in eventually as co-host, but for now I've replaced him with a guest who is infinitely better at golf, infinitely cooler. She's a sophomore at the University of Southern California, last year as a freshman, a first team All American, and she'll be competing again this April in the Augusta National Women's Amateur. And with that said, I'm thrilled to welcome in the Amari Avery to College Golf Talk. Amari, how goes it?
Everything is good. Thanks for having me.
So I understand you're at North Ranch right now. You should find my beloved co-host and give him a hard time during the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna track down Burko and find him in the next hour or so.
So has anyone called you the Amari Avery before, or is this the first?
No, yeah, I've gotten this a few times. Don't know if it's my favorite. I just kind of prefer Amari, but it's fun.
What do your teammates call you?
Well, my coach calls me the kid. Um,
I like
and
that
then
one. I like the kid.
yeah, that's a good one. And then my teammates call me Mari or Mari, who just kind of goes through. New one every week.
Now, when they want to get under your skin, do they call you Tigress? And for those who don't know, Netflix documentary as a kid, The Short Game, you were one of the stars in that. That was your
Mhm.
nickname for, gosh, 7, 8 years, something like that. Do they call you that every once in a while when they want to get you a little riled up?
Oh, for sure. They love to abandon or I'm sorry, they love to abuse that word and that name, but, honestly, it's okay. They're some of my closest friends, so I'll let them use it from time to time.
Now you've definitely outgrown that nickname, but I think you've also been impressive in the way that you've dealt with all the expectations. I'm curious, how much of a challenge was that to deal with that early hype from a young age and still be able to have success now midway through your sophomore year of college?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a lot to put that kind of pressure on an 8-year-old kid, but, I've been in the spotlight, I guess, for ever since I started playing golf, so, I kinda had to get used to it quick, and, it's been a blast so far. I can't really say anything bad about it, so it's keeping me relevant, so
Well, I would say you're relevant without that. Um,
trying.
if you had to go back, would you do anything differently, or would you hope that your parents did anything differently with that?
Honestly, no. I don't really believe in regrets or things like that, so, um, I'm glad that we went through that, and that's kind of been my life, so I've loved this
Mhm.
ever yeah.
I think many regard you as the future face of black golf, maybe even the current face of women's black golf or college black golf. But I'm curious, how do you view yourself? Because that's the most important thing.
Honestly, I kinda just wanna be the future of women's golf. Um, I think golf shouldn't be about color or gender or anything, um, but obviously, I take great pride in kinda leading um about being one of the first Black women to do some of the things I've accomplished in college golf and amateur golf, so, obviously, I take great pride in that, but, I just wanna change women's golf as it is.
Now, remind me, there was a time last year at Augusta, there was a little kid following you. I think he was a family friend. He's a big golfer. Remind me what his name was and maybe update us on his golf status and how he's playing.
I don't know if I remember. You
Mhm.
guys might remember better than me, but maybe it was Matthew.
I think
I'm not
so.
sure.
I
Yeah, it
think
might have
so.
been Matthew Vital. I think he just played in the APGA tournament over at Torrey a couple days ago. I don't know. I don't know how it went for him, but I'm pretty proud of him, and he's been moving up the junior ranks pretty well.
Mhm. So let's get into NIL, name, image, and likeness. Are you still the second highest NIL earner at USC, or have you been supplanted a little bit?
Honestly, I think I might have been surpassed. We have a lot of good football players at our school, and obviously they're making a ton of deals and a lot of money. But I would say I'm somewhere in the top 5, which is good enough for me.
Hey, it's impressive for a golfer, right? Male or
Oh, yeah,
female.
yeah.
Um, just talk about the process of that and getting used to the rules and what current sponsors do you have and what's it been like working with those companies right now?
Yeah, so right now, the biggest company that I have is Nike. I've been signed to them since last May, so it's been a treat. That was probably my biggest dream to be a part of that company and be an athlete, a Nike athlete. So that's probably my biggest one. But I've had a few. I've had Bank of America. I've done one with Angel City FC, which is a local soccer club in LA. Was able to get out to a game a couple months ago, and I hope to go back this season. And then I've got some pretty good ones upcoming. I'm excited to share the details soon, but for now, that's all I got.
Hopefully, you can come back on and break that news when it's available for people. How are your soccer skills?
Not very good. I'm a lot
Not
better
good.
with my hands than I am with my feet.
Okay, fair enough. You're probably are you athletic, like fast, like shifty, or would you be more of a defender?
You know what? I'd be more of a defender. I kinda like to guard people and hit people. So I don't think I'd be fast enough to keep up, but, I can maybe be a goalie.
What's it like being a Nike athlete? Take us through maybe particular obligations that you've had in your time, under their umbrella. What's maybe something that you've done, whether it's a outing or an event or commercial or anything like that? What's kind of the coolest thing you've done with them so far?
I actually haven't really done anything big yet. I know I'm scheduled to go to the headquarters soon and kinda get a tour there, but no commercials yet, nothing big yet, but I guess the only really obligation that I have is to wear Nike when I'm just playing any other amateur event outside of school, so, and I'm happy to do that, so, nothing big yet, but I'll let you know.
Now, you were in a Bank of America commercial, though, right?
Yes.
How many times have people sent that to you via text or online?
Way too many people. I mean, it's like it's nice to
Hey, they're
be on a
seeing it.
commercial. Yeah,
That's a
I
good
know.
thing.
I think it's still running. It might still be running. There's some people that work for our football team that have seen it while they've been at games, so didn't know that it would ever go that far, but it was a really good commercial.
Now, how is NIL has that impacted you staying in school as long as you have or even going to school? Does that have any small impact or no?
I think it has a huge impact on whether or how long I stay in school. I mean, even before I wasn't really planning on going to school. I was just going to turn pro at 18, and NIL was kind of always in the picture with me, at least in my recruitment process. So, I figured, oh, I'll just give it a semester and we'll just take it semester by semester. But so far, the NIL has been good, and honestly, I don't see any reason to rush out onto the tour. I think it'll always be there, and I've been developing my game a lot while I've been here at school. So, um, the sky's the limit. We'll see, and I've been really loving my time, and I think I can get better and better each year.
Now we'll shift to probably a player that you have in your crosshairs right now, and that's Rose Zhang of Stanford. She's also a sophomore. You're trying to catch her maybe in NIL, but definitely on the golf course right now. I guess first off, how much should someone like me or golf fans appreciate what Rose has been able to do in the amateur game?
Oh, I think they should take great appreciation what she's done for the game. Honestly, I think she's changed women's amateur golf from what it was to what it is now. When you think of women's amateur golf, I think most people think Rose Zhang, and so she's a great competitor, and she's someone that I definitely look up to. And we've been best of friends since I was 8. So I mean, I've been competing with her ever since the junior ranks, and I hope to keep doing it until for many years to come.
What was Rose like as an 8-year-old?
She was pretty much the same. She's basically kicking everybody's butt, but she does it with grace, and she's one of the nicest people I know.
Now, not to put you on the spot, but could you give us any maybe slightly embarrassing tidbit about Rose that maybe we don't know? Because we see this, superhuman golfer, stoic, just so poised. Does she have a goofy side to her at all?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
she laughs probably more than I do, and I'm laughing, like, 24/7. So, I don't really have any, like, embarrassing stories about her. I do remember one, though. She got stung by a bee on, like, on her thumb in a tournament, and she had to withdraw, and it was just the funniest thing ever because her thumb was, like, as big as her hand. So, that one was funny, but, I mean, she gave someone else another chance to win, so But
Derek Radley and the Oregon Ducks are currently looking into buying a beehive. That's the only way it seems like teams are going to stop Rose
that's the only
right
way.
right now. But so I talked to your head coach Justin Silverstein this morning, and he gave me some good topics to kind of go over with you. I hear that as it relates to Rose, you really want to overtake her as the number one amateur in the world amateur golf ranking. How do you do that, or how do you go about making sure that happens while she's still amateur?
Honestly, I think it's just a process. She's been number 1 in pretty much every rank since we've known each other, and, she's a really good golfer, and I don't see any end in sight with that. Um, but that honestly just kinda drives me more. I know how good she is, I know how much better she'll become, but that just gives me the drive to wanna do more. Like, if she's working 10 hours a day, I'm gonna try and work 20, she honestly just pushes me, and I'm pretty sure everyone else to be the best that they can be, and, one of my biggest dreams is to be the number 1 amateur in the world, so ever since I came to college, so, she keeps driving us, and, I'm gonna keep trying and as long as we're in the amateur ranks.
Now I go over this with a lot of my guests, but let's do strengths and weaknesses in your golf game. What would you consider to be your greatest strength out there on the course?
I wanna say just, my driving of the ball and maybe my grit. Um, I've been dubbed by a lot of people as a fighter, and I never give up on the course, and I think that's gotten me really far in the game of golf.
And weaknesses?
I
I mean, I got to. It's fair, right? I mean, I'm sure you got something that
I'm
you
s
want to improve.
I'm trying to not have any, but, everyone does. But I would say probably my chipping. That's not really something I've ever really had to utilize. I've always been a long hitter and, have had short shots into every green, so not really something I've had to worry about, but when I do, it's kinda a little bit iffy, but, that's what I mean by college golf. I think I've been getting better and better every semester, so, the goal is to turn that, weakness into a strength and turn my strengths into more strengths.
Now, for those who haven't been to the USC campus, there's a little short game area, a bunker, and a green behind the center field fence of the baseball stadium. How
Yeah.
much time do you spend out there compared to maybe some of the great courses that you guys get to play as Lady Trojans?
Honestly, I don't spend a lot of time there. When I did live on campus, I lived probably like 100 yards from that short game area, so I was there almost every night. But now that I live off campus, it's a little bit difficult to get back and get over there. But I use it a lot, and I try to really focus when I'm there during campus practices. But a goal of mine is to try and get there a little bit more during the semester and find breaks in between classes to just work on my short game.
What's the latest you've spent on that green?
Oh, I've been there probably, like, around 9 or 10 o'clock at night when I lived on campus.
Ever during a baseball game?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Every every time we go there, there's, like, 3 baseballs on the green, so I'm okay, and they make pretty big dents, so I don't think that would go over too well if it hit me.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any helmets available to you as
No.
golfers, but so one thing, so I was on campus, gosh, it's been 6 years now with Justin Suh and former head
Yeah.
coach of the men's team, Chris Zambri. Justin was actually the assistant for the men then, and I got to see kind of the analytics side, all the testing that USC has been known for over the last gosh decade or so. How has that made you a better player? And I guess first off, let's just start. Were you an analytical person before you got to USC?
No, absolutely not. I was just kinda more of a straightforward girl, didn't really think too much about the data, but, coming to school, that was definitely a shocker, but I did know going in what it was gonna be like, and I think it's really transformed my game for the better.
Yeah, there's a cool story that Justin told me where through the testing that they do, they determine that you might hit your putts a little bit too hard. Do you still hit them a little too hard, or do you consider that a strength now?
It's working to be a strength. It's speed has never been my strong suit, but like I said, it's been getting better and better, and, now I feel proud of myself every time I hit a good putt with speed, especially when Justin's watching. I'm like, look, Justin, look. I had good speed, but I'm working on it, and I'm sure it'll get better.
I would always argue that it's better to hit it past the hole because
Right,
you know what it's doing coming back. It's better than to
right.
leave it short. And
Yeah,
and you
I would
miss
never leave it short.
100%. What's the saying? You miss 100% of the putts you leave short.
Yeah, that's exactly the
So
saying. Yeah,
screw
that's my motto.
screw screw analytics, with
Yeah,
that.
who cares,
Um,
Justin?
now, let's go back to your driving real quick. Greyhawk, as everyone knows by now, is not a course where you hit a lot of drivers. I understand you hit
Mm.
maybe 4 drivers. Was that total or around or what was it last year?
Yeah, that I think it's maybe 3 or 4 drivers around.
Mhm.
So not a lot of drivers, more a lot of hybrids, a lot of 3 woods. But yeah, for a long hitter, you gotta lay up a lot.
How would you sum up your performance there last year?
It definitely didn't meet my expectations, that's for sure. But honestly, I think I was just tired. My first season as a Trojan and first season in college, so it was a lot. And I played some really good golf, but I think by the time I got to Greyhawk, I was just kind of burned out a little bit and didn't really have much left in the tank. But I've got some more experience now, and I can't wait to go back and see what we can do.
How are you making sure that you're staying as fresh as possible during the season now? Now that you have that semester or 2 semesters now under your belt, how do you make sure what do you do, to recharge?
Honestly, I just try and rest whenever I can. It's very hustle and bustle college golf. You're traveling for a week at a time, and then you're coming back, and you have X amount of assignments to make up. It's a tough life, and it's hard. But I mean, just trying to find that balance and getting rest whenever I can is the only way I think we can recharge.
Mhm. Justin also said that you're not necessarily a morning person, is that right? So you love your sleep, apparently.
I do love my sleep. I try and take as many naps I possibly can, and yeah, I hate waking up at 5:30 every morning, but we got to do it.
Yeah, you did it this morning, right? You were out at Palos Verdes this morning practicing, came back for a little school, jump on College Golf Talk. You've had a busy day. You
Yeah,
might need to we might need to call Justin and see if he can excuse you from practice tomorrow.
no, yeah, but I mean, we were qualifying at Trump today, so not PV, but we had our final round of qualifying for PV, and luckily it went well. Haven't been playing well at Trump recently, so that was good, and got some schoolwork in and some classes, and then came here.
So let's go way back, even before short game. For those who don't know, how did you get involved in the game growing up? Where'd you learn the game? Where'd you play? And what are some of your earliest memories?
Yeah, so I started playing golf when I was 3. I lived in Anaheim at the time, which is in Orange County, and I would go to Long Beach, a course called Hartwell. Tiger used to play there a lot too when he was younger, and that's kind of where I got started. And then I moved to Riverside when I was probably 5 or 6, and then just kind of played at local courses around there. But some of my earliest memories of starting golf was when I got my first hole in one when I was 5. That was really exciting. It was on the first hole at Hartwell, so um, I think that was kind of one of the major factors that made me really love golf and made it exciting for me.
So you're gonna hate me for this, but was that another one of the correlations or the parallels between you and Tiger? Same. Remind me,
Yeah.
same hole. You first hole in one on the same hole.
No, I think first hole in one, just at the same course. I think it was on his was on 10, I believe. But
Mhm.
yeah, mine was on one. I got it done pretty fast.
And then you share a birthday with him, right?
Yes, December 30th.
Well, happy belated birthday. I guess it's been a month. So
Yeah. Thank you.
now describe how influential. Tiger's dad was obviously very influential in him learning the game. How influential was your dad, Andre?
He's very influential. I think he's the only reason why um, I've become this good in the game of golf, and while I continue to work at doing that, but he's a big impact on my life. And honestly, I know like junior golf is tough. I mean, everyone kind of goes through the quarrels of junior golf, but now that I'm in college golf, I've really seen um, like the blessings that it was to go through that hard stuff. And now he's even more supportive than he ever was before now that I'm in college, and he sees that I'm growing up. So it's been fun, and I love having my dad by my side.
Yeah, I got to walk with him a little bit last year at the ANWA, and I mean, fairly, and your dad will admit this. You know, he caught a lot of criticism for the short game and kind of how he was portrayed and how he acted. Um, but all indication is, and especially spending time with him and watching you play, he's grown up probably more than you have over
Yeah.
these last 15 or so years. How has your relationship with him changed from being Tigris on the short game to now being one of the best amateurs in the world and one of the best women's golfers, period?
Yeah, we've definitely gotten closer. I didn't think that we could ever get that much closer, but like I said, as I've grown up, he's been even more supportive of my dreams, and it's his dream too. So I mean, that's what we kind of built on, and we're not going to stop until we get there. And then when we do get there, we're going to keep going.
And speaking of junior golf, how close were you to just turning pro? And why did you end up deciding to go to school and ultimately pick USC?
Yeah, I was extremely close to turning pro. The goal was always 18, but I mean, like the likes of Lexi Thompson, who turned pro way earlier than 18. I mean, my dad always had that on his radar too, and he tried to get me to turn pro earlier, but I mean, I think we both knew I wasn't ready. And at 18, I was ready to go, and then COVID hit, so that kind of set us back a little bit, and we were like, we got to reevaluate our life and what that's going to look like for me and for my family. And school looked like the best option. And now I get to live my life here at USC, and I've had a blast.
Now, at that moment, had you done any research about going to college? Had you taken any visits? Had you had any conversations? Or were you basically just like, I'm pro, all of a sudden now I got to rush and figure out where I want to go to school?
Well, no, I definitely took visits. You gotta play it safe, and I had a lot of, fortunately, I had a lot of schools that were interested in me, and my top three schools were Stanford, USC, and UCLA. So knew I wanted to stay in California if I did, and ultimately, I felt like USC was the home for me, and it's only an hour from campus, so close enough for my dad to come get me if he if he wants to, but it's also close enough to see my little sister Alana and hang out with her.
Has he needed to come get you at all? I mean, are you getting into trouble? You're not getting into trouble.
No, I'm an angel. Why would he come get
Yeah,
me?
exactly. So you said Stanford was one of your top three, not to slight any of your current teammates, but I think I speak for everyone. Just imagining a lineup with Amari Avery, Roseng, Rachel Heck, Mega Gane,
Yeah,
that's pretty scary. So I think
yeah.
every other team in college golf, and certainly Justin and Tiffany and the rest of the Trojans, are glad that you picked USC. Speaking of turning pro versus college, now that you've made your decision and you're in college and you're now midway through your second year, what advice would you have to the next stud junior about whether if they're weighing whether to turn pro or end up going to school?
Yeah, honestly, I would just say do whatever your heart tells you. I mean, if I could do it over again, I would still go to school, but I don't think there's any problem with turning pro at, the young age of 18. It's if you're ready and you think you are, then I think you should go out there and pursue your dream. But for me, I had other circumstances like COVID that kind of held me back. But I mean, I've had a blast here at school, but like I said, it's not for everybody. Um, it can be a lot. It's a lot to handle, and but so is turning pro, and that's a tough life as well. So it's kind of just weighing your options and seeing what's best for you.
I've been beating this drum for a couple years now because the men have PGA Tour University, and now they have the PGA Tour University Accelerated, where a guy like Gordon Sargent, if he does enough things to earn enough points, he could potentially turn pro after a sophomore year. How much
Right.
does the women's game need that?
I think it would be, I mean, greatly beneficial if we had that. I mean, I think it would help out a lot just from, I mean, we play so well in some of these tournaments, and it counts to something, but it doesn't really count towards like turning pro or anything like that. And to see the men like get points like that, and to see someone like Gordon, who's such a great player, to have that opportunity at some point, maybe that's really cool. And I think we could really benefit from that.
Yeah, college golf, it's a little bit different from other college sports. They don't have a draft. I know you're very outgoing. You're friends with a lot of other athletes at SC. Caleb Williams, star football player. There's so many great athletes there. I mean, Simone Jackson, who plays soccer. What's that been like, just getting to rub elbows with all of these greats in their respective sports?
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, for me, when I'm on the golf course, there's a lot of, "Oh my god, it's Amari, like, can we get a picture?" And, like, to me, that just kinda seems normal, and then you meet athletes like that who get the same thing in their sport. It's kinda something that we bond over, and and some of these athletes are really cool. I love being friends with them, I love hanging out with them, and especially having classes with them, you kinda get to know them on a personal level, and all of a sudden, you don't see them as, like, Caleb Williams, like, Heisman QB, like, you just see him, like, "That's just Caleb," and and so it's cool to have them as friends, and, we've all gotten pretty close.
Who would you say you're closest with from another sport?
Uh, I would have to say, like, some girls on lacrosse and some girls on water polo.
Mhm.
I lived with some water polo girls, last spring, so I've kinda gotten to know some of their team, and, that's been really cool, but everyone is super close at school. I'm really close with a lot of the football players, they love golf, so any chance they get, they're always texting me, like, "When are we going out? Like, when can I play?" So, that's really fun, and we kinda just all bond over our sport.
Now, have you granted any of those wishes to play golf, or you
Yes.
keeping them, at arm's length for now?
Some of them I'm keeping at arm's length for other for other reasons, but but I did just grant one to, Kyle Ford. He used to be one of our wide receivers, but he just graduated and transferred to UCLA, so unfortunately. But I just took him out, on Friday, and we went to Topgolf and played the par 3 course with, my teammate Michaela and her boyfriend who's on the baseball team. So that was really fun and just kinda got to bond over that. Of course, I beat him. We'll just get that out of the way. But, yeah, it was really fun, and they love golf.
Now, I think we talked about this, whether it was last year or at some point, because you mentioned you lived with water polo players. Believe it or not, I played water polo
Yeah.
in college, club water polo. Haven't been in a pool really since, to be honest. But have you been to a match yet? Have you seen water polo played in person?
So remember how I said I was gonna go?
And you never
I ended
did.
up I never ended up going, but they are playing really well right now. Our men's water polo is number 1 in the country, I believe, and
Mhm.
then I think our women's water polo is number 2. So they're pretty good, and I am excited to go see one soon, hopefully, but our schedule is about to get pretty busy soon, so we'll see.
So if you feel like your legs aren't strong enough, grab one of those Zephyr Hills, like, that they go upside down, and,
Yep.
and you get water from them. Grab one of those empty, go into the pool, into the deep end, and fill that bad boy up, and then lift it above your head and try to tread water until the water all funnels out. It's the best lower body workout you could ever have.
I'd probably collapse, but
I think you would surprise yourself, but
okay.
so that was totally random, but let's just keep the randomness going. We'll close the podcast with some just random questions that I kind of just came up with out of the top of my head. But the first is, what's your favorite snack when traveling with the team?
Ooh, this is really bad, but I love hot Cheeto Puffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to our old assistant coach used to have Katie go, get that from the store whenever she, asked what we wanted, and, me and my teammate Bree would always ask for hot Cheeto Puffs, and now I'm about to get Tiff on that as soon as we start at PV, so
Is
watch
this
out,
a
Tiff.
pre-round? Is this a
Oh,
pre-round
no.
thing to where
No.
so it's not
No, but
like yeah.
no, this is a post-round little
Okay.
snack after. Yeah.
If you play poorly, does Justin hold the Cheetos hostage, or?
No, he can't do that.
Yeah, no, he can't. Top 3 music artists right now, or maybe of all. Let's just do all time. Who's
Ooh.
kind of been, maybe not inspiration, but, 'cause I don't know how good of a singer or guitar player you are, but, your top 3 music artists.
I would have to say Beyonce for sure, Drake, and then I guess one of my more recents would have to be, like, Rod Wave. He's more of, like, a R&B, musician, so he's really cool and, kinda gets the vibes flowing for pre-round, warm-ups.
Are you a concert person? Do you like going to concerts, or you rather just, fire up the Spotify and
So I've actually never been to a concert until I think last semester. I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert. So that was
it's a
my
good
first
first
one.
concert.
Yeah, it was really good. He's a great performer, and but that was my first one. I'm not a big concert person. I'm more just kind of put my AirPods on and vibe out.
Favorite golf club in your bag? Although I think I know the answer, but maybe second favorite behind the driver.
Yeah, so drivers first, and then I'd have to say my 6 iron. That thing never fails me.
Really? Because
Never.
some people say 7 iron, but 6 iron.
6 iron. Every time I whip that bad boy out of my club, I know where it's going, and it's never really let me down ever.
You had a lot of success. What's your proudest moment on the golf course to date?
Um, I would have to say my annual performance last year. It was just nice to after the first year missing the cut by one to kind of bounce back like that and hold the lead at one point during the final round and really just get to play Augusta. Ever since that tournament came to be, it was one of my biggest dreams to play in the final group and even just play Augusta. So that's I think till date that is probably one of my favorite moments on the course. And well, let's see how we finish this year.
Now, I want to follow up on that. We can get rid of the random questions. I think we're more interested in Augusta National than hot Cheetos. But what's one thing that you've learned from playing that course that you're anxious to get back out there and see if you can do it better this time around?
Yeah, I think Augusta is a lot easier than one would think, but that doesn't mean you can't make a lot of mistakes and making those mistakes pretty fast. That was kind of one of my downfalls in the final round. Is I capitalized on a lot of my good shots, but I also made a lot of mistakes all throughout the round, which kind of cost me. And it kind of made me had to grind out on the last couple holes to try and win. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But it's one of the easier courses you'll play, but it's just you kind of have to stay in the moment and make the best decision that you can.
Do you have a favorite hole?
Ah, that's tough.
I'm putting you on the
Um,
spot, I know, but
you are putting me on the spot. I told you last time I couldn't even remember the holes, but I think it's gonna have to be one.
mhm.
Uh, I don't really hear that a lot, but it was my favorite personally because I had because Annika was watching when we teed off in the final round, and that was really cool to to honestly pipe a drive down the fairway in front of her. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I was like, I don't care how this final round goes really, but Annika just saw me pipe a drive down number one, that tight fairway, so I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you say that that was your proudest moment because everyone knows you're super competitive, right? Like,
Right.
you have that fire to and desire to be the best. I was impressed by kind of how you handled that final round afterward. And, most people I think in your position would be super disappointed outwardly and maybe look even a little pissed off. I actually thought the opposite. I was very impressed. Is that like an accurate assessment of maybe how you were feeling, or were you just doing a great job kind of keeping in the disappointment?
You know what? I might have been masking it a little bit. Like you said, I am very competitive and I wanted to win that badly. Like I knew on 16 that 1 under, 2 under was probably going to be the end all be all, but walking off 18 green, I couldn't help but be proud of myself. I mean, at least I gave a run at it, and I knew that I would have a good chance coming back the next year. So I did appreciate it, and I was very proud of myself. And I think, like you said, I handled it pretty well, but I could have been masking it a little bit. I was pretty upset, and but seeing my coach after, my parents, and my little sister, that made it all better. Just to know that they were proud of me and that I accomplished a great feat that week.
A few more Augusta things. How much money do you think you spent in the pro shop that week?
Oh my god, I'm actually mad because I think I spent $0.
Oh,
I
really?
had to
Wow.
yeah, I had to leave right after, but I was fully ready to spend at least $1,000. $1,000 of money I
There's
don't
always
have.
this year. There's always hey, you have it now,
Yeah.
NIL.
Money I need to save. My
True. That's true.
but
That's true.
I
Pro
will
golf is
be in.
expensive.
Yeah, it is. I will be in that pro shop though this year. Mark my
Do you have
words.
do you have a favorite sandwich? Because I would say, are you a
Oh my
healthy eater,
god.
but you eat flaming hot Cheetos? Do you have a favorite
Stop.
sandwich?
I do. It's, I think it's a chicken salad sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, disappoint a lot of people by saying this, but is it the pimento cheese one
Mhm,
that's a
mhm.
sandwich? Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, hey, that is a it could be the most popular sandwich or the least it's almost never in
Right.
the middle, so you're not
Yeah.
out of line for saying that. I think the annual winner should be able to, I mean, I guess it's different when, you might turn pro afterwards, but I think the annual winner should have a say in a menu for the dinner or a champions dinner.
I like
I
that.
think that would be
Yeah.
cool. If you were to win, what would be like your course, right? So you have an appetizer, a main dish, and a dessert.
God, I mean, like, what do you eat for appetizers?
I don't know, shrimp cocktail, salad,
No.
wedge salads are pretty
Yeah,
good.
we
I had
yeah, okay, like we just said, I don't eat healthy, so we're not doing salad. Well, we can do, like, we could do onion rings
okay,
for the appetizer, and then main course, I'm thinking just, like, a big old steak.
yeah, like
I don't know.
ribeye
Yeah, ribeye, I think.
or
Yeah,
fillet. We'll
ribeye.
just do the fillet, but that fillets
Yeah.
aren't big, so ribeyes you can get them pretty.
Yeah, I don't know how many like, how much we could eat that night, so maybe we'll do a
Mhm.
filet, and then we'll do some, like, mashed potatoes or mac and cheese, whichever one you want, and then we'll throw in, like, 2 asparagus just to kinda get some greens on the plate.
Yeah, one or two.
And then
Dessert?
dessert, oh, dessert, that one's kinda easy. I'm thinking the crème brûlée that they have there. My first year, they had crème brûlée, and I died. I was like, "This is so good." So,
Yeah,
we're gonna keep that one.
that's interesting. Yeah, crème brûlée, not my favorite, but,
Aw, man,
you do you, right?
I will do me.
Well, awesome. Amari, look forward to seeing you here in a couple months at Augusta National. Good luck to you this spring season, and thank you so much for coming on College Golf Talk.
Yep, thank you.